This right here is my first ever YouTube paycheck, and today we're gonna speak about one of the most interesting things: money. But before we speak about this, we need to take a look at what I actually bought with the money that I made out of YouTube.
Without wasting any time, we start off with a time lapse of me unboxing everything that I got, and I'm really happy to announce that this was something like a dream for me, and now it came true thanks to the people watching here on YouTube, thanks to you guys. So in the video itself you're gonna see the excitement on my face and how I actually feel about all of this, because this video will actually prove that if you want something in life hard enough, eventually you are gonna get it. So remember, persistence is the key. But let's move on to the parts now. Here in this beautiful package I have something special, but it's a secret for now.
So come here and let's see what we actually got up close. So this is our motherboard. It's a MCI H670 and it's with a pretty decent processor. We have the Intel Core i7-13700 processor, which is completely unlocked and has an integrated GPU. This is really important, remember this. For our disk management, we decided to take a Samsung 980 Pro NVMe Gen 4 SSD, which by the way has 2 terabytes of space, which is really important also. And for this processor, because people know that Gen 13 and 14 Intel processors are heat monsters, we've got this massive cooler. It's a Sigmatech AK620 Duo, which means it has 2 fans. There is one more fan here plus 2 massive radiators, and we also have a cool digital display that we can track our temperature. For the PCU, I've decided to invest into the Cougar GLA ATX 3.1. Why did I buy this? Because it's 1000 watts and it's rated 80 plus gold. For the case that we decided to take, it's a Lion Lee Lancool 207. It's one of the best cases with one of the best rated airflows that we can actually buy. That's why I decided to buy it. A lot of guys will now tell me that I can buy a lot cheaper case, but we're gonna need cooling. And now you're gonna ask, why are you gonna need such a powerful PCU and such a good airflow in the case? Well, if you notice, something is missing here. We don't have a GPU included. So let me show you this. And this perfectly wrapped package that we have here is the flow of the entire build. And this is the GPU that we are going to use. We have the massive EVGA GeForce RTX 3080 Ti. Now this is a beast. I really like the design. Everything here is glowing, it's RGB, and I might say that it's a beast. It even has its own stand here, because the GPU is so heavy that it can actually break off the motherboard. So now we need to turn this pile of parts right here on the table into a fully functioning computer. The problem? I'm not a PC guy that much. I'm new to all of this. I never had such a powerful PC, and it's gonna be a new thing for me. And while the time lapse of me building the computer goes on, I'm gonna speak about the prices and what each individual part actually cost me. This is one of the most satisfying things for me, guys. Like, just listen. Oh, I love it.
And this is how my quest started. I'm saying quest because in this channel we're used to see WoW related content, and this is something completely new for me. I didn't know what I was actually doing I needed to improvise while doing all of this. Like, I'm a pretty handy person. I work in construction in real life, so I basically can build houses, but for simple things like building a PC, I struggle a lot sometimes because I learn while building it. For example, here you can see that I don't know how to actually mount the bracket for the CPU cooler. It's gonna be a fun journey. But as I mentioned in the start of the video, persistence is the key. So with around 15 to 20 minutes of struggling, I finally found out how to actually mount the cooler bracket, and now what was left was to actually apply the thermal paste and mount the cooler itself. But while I'm doing this in the background, let's speak about the prices. The motherboard and the CPU costed me roughly 400 euros to buy. And because we're currently mounting the cooler, the actual price of the cooler was 50 euros brand new in the store, which makes the total so far 450 euros for a motherboard, CPU and the cooler. But there is more components to this build. So we need to mount the SSD that we got, the beautiful Samsung 980 Pro. And this SSD costed me 180 euros. I got it second hand from a Dutch guy here in my city of Plovdiv, which was pretty crazy for me, but I've tested the SSD and it's 100% working. For me personally, this was maybe the easiest part of the build, but sadly we cannot use the original heatsink because the SSD already has a heatsink, and these are aluminum, pretty nice heatsinks, but yeah, it looks nice even like this. So just like that came the next step of the build. We finally can put the motherboard inside of the cool Lion Lee case that we've got, and it fits perfectly. Everything is looking pretty good so far, and I'm so excited to actually see how it's gonna look with the GPU inside. The case itself cost me 90 euros to buy brand new from the store, but I think that it's a perfect investment. So now the only thing left for us to do is to bolt the motherboard to the actual case, and we can move on to the next step. But before that, and now the motherboard is finally in, it's bolted, everything is fine. And now for me personally, the worst part, the cable management. As I see back here, because I never had a PC like this, you can see that we have like 25 cables here on the back, and I don't think that I'm gonna make it actually beautiful, but I'm gonna give it a good shot. So yeah, you will have the final decision if the cable management is somewhat decent or not. For me personally, I just wanted it to be functional. And to be functional, we need a PCU. So here we're mounting the PCU. And this PCU costed me 110 euros brand new from the store. And now about the cable management and why I hate it so much. I'm gonna play this clip and you can see for yourself. And yeah, basically I know that I'm not a good cable management guy, so you can see the desperation on my face. My head started to hurt. I'm not over exaggerating, guys, seriously. But people who are actually following me and know me, they know that I don't like to give up. It's not in my style. So even with the struggle with all of those cables and how to actually manage them, finally came the best moment for me. So, the moment of truth. Now we need to get this bad boy inside. It's gonna be a little bit hard for me. I'm not used to this, just to say it. But let's see if I'm gonna get it in from the first time. Wait a second, I'm not seeing anything. Oh, I think we're in, guys.
I think we are in. Yep, we're in. Now I need assistance from my cameraman. If you can give me the thing that supports the GPU.
And because we speak a lot about money in this video, the price that I've paid for this massive 3080 Ti GPU was 450 euros with shipping included, which for me personally is a lot.
Damn, it's so big. It takes space for 3 GPUs, by the way. Now I can try to bolt it in, only if I can actually find what it should be.
And yeah, it was really massive. But there is a slight issue. If you were watching the video closely from the start and you paid attention, you will have noticed by now that we are missing something.
Okay, so now it's looking more like a PC than it has ever looked. But yet again, we have a small issue. We don't have any RAM. And we need to fix this. But don't worry, I have a solution.
And I actually did have a pretty decent solution. While this is starting to look like a fully built PC, we needed to find some RAM. And I know a good place where we can find it.
So right here, guys, is where we are going to find the last part of our PC. And this is my old PC. It has a i5 9400. It has a 1070 Ti MCI yet again. And yeah, it looks like a decent PC, but actually it's like 12-year-old hardware, so I cannot use this to continue the channel itself. But this is going to contribute toward the new machine.
And yeah, I felt a little bit sad that I needed to use the old RAM, but the build already costs us more than 1200 euros and it's getting really tight.
And these are the RAM sticks. We have G.Skill DDR4 32 gigabytes of RAM, 3200 megahertz, which for our needs are gonna be perfect. When you think about the actual prices of RAM, if I decided to go to DDR5, I needed to buy actual new RAM so I could and actually use the computer, but that way with DDR4 it's still up to date, guys. There's not a problem. I can use this, and this is around 200 euros spared. Hey Google, I have a motherboard MCI Mag H670. On which slots I need to install the two RAM sticks to actually have active dual channel?
Install your two RAM sticks in slots A2 and B2, the second and fourth slots from the CPU, to enable dual channel mode.
And yeah, what you actually witness now is me asking Google how I should properly install the RAM, because this is just how bad of a PC guy I actually am. I'm learning, and I'm seriously learning. I was not joking at the start. I really hope that everything will be fine with this PC, because keep in mind that some of the stuff are actually second hand. And for some of you watching, you might think that this is not that strong of a PC because there is currently newer hardware actually available, but you need to keep in mind that I've grown up in a pretty poor family, and I even remember back in the day when I needed to gather up money for 6 months in order to buy my 1 GB of RAM PC so I can use it personally for games and stuff like this. Yeah, times were tough back in the day, but now I have opportunities ahead of me. I have a real life job, but it's hard for me to spare any money from my real life job to invest them because yeah, life is expensive nowadays, but thanks to you guys, all of this is possible. So let's continue and see what's coming up next.
Okay, so now finally we are completely ready. And now I need to say something. Some of these parts are actually second-hand. The GPU is second-hand, the motherboard and the processor are also second-hand. For the RAM I know it works. The SSD I've tested personally and I know it works. So if this will boot up now, we are gonna find out at the same time, because I haven't tested those parts. There was no way for me to actually test them. We just need to hook up the GPU right now. It uses 3 8-pin cables, by the way, because it's 350 watts. I'm gonna connect it and we are going to try to boot up this PC. Let's hope that everything will run.
So to be honest, I was actually afraid to press the power on button. So I've decided to ask my good old friend Google a couple more questions before I finally try to start the PC, just to be sure that everything is fine. And let's see at the end if we have luck.
And now everything is connected. Everything should be fine. We don't know if the motherboard and the CPU work. We also don't know if the GPU will load up. Of course, it's not hooked to a monitor right now, but we're gonna see if everything is gonna boot up normally. So, 3, 2, 1. And we have power, but wait. Oh, there was a cable in the way. And everything seems to boot up, guys. Everything seems to boot up. Damn, it looks so nice. Like, look at the GPU. It boots up and damn. For sure, this is going to be it's not gonna be a quiet PC. Good thing we have noise suppression on our microphones.
And at this point, guys, the excitement was going to blow off the roof for me. I was so happy that the actual PC managed to boot up and it was looking flawlessly. Well, yeah, we're gonna need to do some stress test to see how the hardware behaves in actual working conditions, but still, it's working and it's built. So now what is left is to pop on the side glass panel and we can finally take the PC and test it in real conditions.
My God. It weighs like 15-20 kilos. So now it's hooked up to the monitor. Everything is hooked up. I have my original SSD with Windows on it. So when I press this button, everything should load and we're gonna have picture on the screen. So another timer again. 3, 2, 1. The monitor. Come on, please boot up. Please boot up. Yes! Yes! Haha! Nice! We have picture on screen. But damn, this is really, it's insanely noisy, guys. Like, damn.
And just like you saw, my expressions showed what I really felt about this. I was so happy because we have picture on the screen, everything seems to work normally, and the only thing left for us to do is to do the actual stress tests, download the drivers and activate some things in the BIOS itself.
So now it's the next day, and yesterday it was already too late. It was around 11 p.m. and I didn't have time to actually test the PC. But now when I try to do the actual stress test of the CPU to see if it works correctly, I think that we have a problem, and it's a serious problem. Come over, film this. You can see that you can film right here. The moment that I start the CPU test, you can see here, right here, it's going up to 100 degrees almost instantly, and it's cutting power to the CPU, so basically it can save itself from overheating, which can be two things. One of them can be the CPU is just bad, it's defective. The other one, I might have messed up on the installation of the cooler itself and it's not cooling properly, and that's really bad. I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
And just like that, things went from perfect to an absolute mess. I didn't know where the actual issue might be. I told you that it may be a bad CPU or we have a bad mounted cooler. And while I was searching in the box with the cooler parts in it, I found something crazy.
I think we found the problem. Look at what it says here. These are the spacers for the mounting brackets of the cooler. And here it says 1700, and this is the socket of my CPU. And it seems that I've actually used AMD ones, not Intel ones. And I think that this right here is the actual problem. You can see that there is 1 millimeter difference. Like the blue one is 1 millimeter shorter than the black one. Let's hope that this difference is enough to fix the issue. It's insane.
So sadly, the PC is back on the table. I've dismounted the cooler and I've installed the new spacers for the mounting bracket. Now you can see me applying the new thermal paste. I even bought better thermal paste so I can be sure that everything is fine with it. And the only thing left for me was to actually hope that this is going to fix the actual overheating problem. Now we need to find out if it actually is.
Okay, so now everything is on the PC. It's with new thermal paste. This time I'm pretty sure I've mounted it correctly. And now you can come over here and you can see that on idle we are holding around 36 to 40 degrees Celsius, which for this type of processor is basically pretty good, I might say. It's maybe 10 degrees lower than before that. So can you imagine what 1 millimeter can actually do? But now the real test. Now when we start the stress test, this speed right here of 4.5, 4.6 gigahertz must not change. It must remain the same. And here we must get around 220 watts of power without it dropping to 65 watts. So 3, 2, 1. Let's see. As you can see here, the power instantly starts jumping. Oh, okay, nice, we're 212 watts. Already at 87 degrees. This is not bad, by the way, this is pretty good. And you should be able to hear the cooler now, it's at 100%. But yeah, check the speed here. 4.7 gigahertz, which is pretty cool. I think that we actually fixed it. Like guys, no program is actually gonna do such a load on the actual CPU like this stress test. So yeah, it goes to 95 degrees now, but it's nothing special. I think that everything is okay and the CPU is fine. It was my fault. So sorry.
And just like that, I think that we actually managed to fix the PC. All of this tweaking actually helped, and yeah, for the future I will know. But yet again I say guys, I'm learning while building the actual PC. But there is one more thing that we are actually going to need. one last drop of water in the ocean for us. Just watch.
And because it's gonna be a shame if we play on 1080p on this computer, I've decided to buy the last thing needed for us. Wait, it should be like this. It's a new monitor. And we are gonna play and stream at 2K resolution now. No more 1080p. So yeah, let's unbox this, put it on the desk and enjoy our completely new build.
I just couldn't stand like this and play on my old 1080p monitor, because with this setup we can easily play absolutely every game on 2K resolution, and like I told you, it was gonna be a serious shame if we play on the old 1080p monitor. This monitor right here is not a high-end monitor because yeah, like I was already over my total budget. It cost me 160 euros, brand new in the store, but at least it's a 200 Hz monitor and I'm absolutely happy with it.
So the moment finally came. The thing that most likely a lot of you actually scrolled through the video to reach and to see what the final number is. So you can come over and we can take a look at the costs first. So what did the actual build cost us? We have 400 euros for the motherboard plus the CPU, 450 for the GPU, 180 for storage, the PCU is 110, the PC case is 90, the cooler is 50 and the monitor is 160, which makes the total, the full PC build plus the monitor to 1,440 euros, and that's excluding the RAM because we had RAM. So now, are you ready to see the final number? 3, 2, 1. Voila! This is the final number and this is what I actually got paid. As you can see, I don't know what you were expecting actually. Here you can see the date. I'm sorry that it's in Bulgarian, but this is how I get the receipt. So yeah, this is the final number. Since the channel got monetized like 4 months ago, we made 763 euros in total. So yeah, it was not even close to buy and to afford this. Like, look at the final number. Not to mention that I actually bought myself a new chair because, as you know, I had neck problems. But the truth is that I want to do this better, guys, with better quality, so I can actually improve. And even with this amount, with 763 euros, it's more than enough help for me, because I was gonna do this eventually. So basically that's it. Thank you so much for the entire support that you've actually showed me.
And now is the moment where I need to say a huge thank you to everybody who actually supported the channel, not only by memberships or by super chats on the live streams, but by viewing my videos, by liking, by commenting. Thank you guys. Thanks to all of you, this is possible, and I'm really happy that I actually have the opportunity to improve the quality and do a better job for you guys. Because, as I said it many times in the past, this was something like a dream come true for me. And another thing, before we end the video, I wanna say that the entire video was edited in DaVinci Resolve with the brand new PC in 4K quality with heavy lighting infusion effects. So yeah guys, I've tested the PC and it's working flawlessly. See you in the next chapter.